Hello everybody, and welcome to my channel. My name is Braden, and I love music. Today I'm going to talk about a very special event that happens for all record collectors that happened yesterday, and I'm going to be talking about it the day after yesterday. That event is called
Record Store Day!
or as I like to call it, Splurge Day, because I really splurged that day, and I got a lot of records for myself. AKA $320 out of my bank, which is a whole lot of money. And today I'm going to be showing off every single one I bought to the YouTube people. First of all, I have to tell you about where we went that day. So, the first store we went to is a store called The Spin Coffee and Vinyl, which I thought originally was part of Record Store Day, but apparently there's another location in Dallas, and that was the one part of Record Store Day. So I went there and I thought it was Record Store Day, but it wasn't, apparently. But I still didn't end up getting anything otherwise. So I just had to mention that I went there. They have a good selection nonetheless. I just didn't, nothing caught my eye particularly. Um, then after that, we went to my favorite record store in the city, Hog Wild Records. And I got 4 records from that place. And I'll be talking about them right now. And also, apparently, they said as me and my dad were walking into that place, they were on the Record Store Day website, but someone at the front counter was calling some client of some sorts, and they said, "Oh, sorry, unfortunately, we're not participating in Record Store Day this year." Let that sink in. So then I just ended up getting some albums anyways, just the normal stuff I'd get from the record store. I've been putting this one down both times I went to Hog Wild Records, but I finally got it today. Cocteau Twins, Heaven of Las Vegas. What a gorgeous, gorgeous dream pop shoegaze album. Had to have it on vinyl finally. Then I've also been wanting this one on vinyl for a while. I used to hate this album, but this album has grown on me so much. I've now gotten to just loving this album. It's Pixies' Doolittle, a very crazy, experimental, very weird indie rock album, but absolutely iconic and incredible, in my humble opinion. Now, I finally got the album on that poster over there. I finally have in my collection Smashing Pumpkins' Siamese Dream. What an incredible alternative rock album. So good. I love this album. And then after that, I put it up to a spinner. I had 4 albums that I wanted. I actually had more than 4. I just didn't add them to the spinner. I spun this spinner with 4 different albums on it. I could get Grace by Jeff Buckley. I could get Dirt by Alice in Chains. I could get The Wall by Pink Floyd. Or I could get The Bends by Radiohead. I spun a wheel and it landed on The Bends by Radiohead. And I have it here now, one of my favorite Radiohead albums. Of course, I prefer a Moonshaped Pool, but I didn't end up getting that on my venture. But this album is super good. I actually listened to it last night, not on vinyl, but on YouTube, because I haven't been listening to as much Radiohead as I usually do. So, just got to show off how much I love this album. Then, the third location we went to was Alamo Record Company, in which this is a very interesting store. This is where things start to get very interesting and unexpected. I saw on their images on Google that one of the albums that someone had picked out, it literally had a Record Store Day sticker on it. So I was like, oh, I don't even need to check their website. They're part of Record Store Day. I am obviously very much a rookie to this Record Store Day fiasco because they were not part of Record Store Day. But all their albums were 10% off. Um, the new ones were 10% off. The used ones were 20% off. So, they were also directing people to Southtown Vinyl, which I'll talk about that later. Um, because that was actually participating in Record Store Day. But I still got an album from there. Actually, a couple more, but yeah, I'll show you. We have Pink Floyd's The Wall. I didn't get it at the other place. I just decided to just snag it. I could have gotten Talking Heads Stop Making Sense, the live album. Incredible live project, but honestly, I just wanted this album in my collection. Though I do prefer metal. Um, then we have albums that they just gave to me. They just chuck them in the bag along with the wall. This is only $36, by the way. I don't know any of these albums. These albums are like ancient to me. These are from like the 50s and 60s and old stuff, old stuff. I don't know pretty much any of this. They just chuck them in for free. We have Bells Are Ringing by Judy Holliday and Dean Martin. It's so funny. Um, Camelot. My grandparents both know these movies, so I don't know. This one's a very thin record, but Ray Conniff and Orchestra. Then we have Marty Robbins' Greatest Hits. I played this one for one of my grandmas, and I played this one for another one of my grandmas. And believe it or not, for $0, they still sound pretty good. You know, some crackling here and there, but they don't sound half as bad as I thought they would. So then after that, we had lunch at a place called Buns. They had burgers, fries, obviously based on the name. They had a good burger, they had a good fries. I had their Bunzilla, which has bacon, it has cheese, it has meat. It also has pickles, onions, and uh, tomatoes. But I don't like that stuff on my burgers, so I just took that off and I had the burger on its own with those things, and of course ketchup. It's good burger, and their fries are good too. I love salty fries. So then after that, we drove to Southtown final. And I also have to mention, because before I get to Southtown, I have to mention something. Basically, the same day this was happening, a Corvette show was happening in Bernie. And my dad wanted to go to this Corvette show, but unfortunately, it was quite crappy outside. It was drizzling, it was raining, it was very wet and humid and gross outside. You know, average Texas weather in April. But we just ended up not going there at all, and we just went to an extra record store. But I'll talk about that later. But Southtown, we just went there. Um, it was kind of out of the original plan, but we went there because the Corvette show was. There's no chance we were going there anymore. So we went there, and I found some lucky stuff. So, this is my only actually record store day exclusive pick that I got. I got Jeff Buckley's Live a la Olympia. Um, I've never heard this album in my life. I don't know what to expect, but it has, Lover, You Should Have Come Over. It has Grace on it. It has Kashmir, which I don't know if that's a cover of the Led Zeppelin song or not. It has Hallelujah. It has Lilac Wine. A bunch of, the amazing Jeff Buckley tracks. I can't believe I got this one before Grace, but I'm probably gonna get Grace on my next record store visit, which is probably gonna be in like a month because I'm pretty much broke now. Then we have um, Jethro Tull's "Thick as a Brick." It's a really really cool vinyl. If we take it out of the plastic, it's like a magazine. It's really cool, and then we have the actual albums in here. So I think that's really cool. And I snagged it. It's used, but for $30, it's still in pretty good condition. Once again, I haven't played anything yet, but I will later today when time is good for me. So then we have the final record store, Crazy Rhythms Records, which I've gone there before, but I've never gotten a vinyl from. They're always crazy busy, ha ha ha. And we got some records from there. And this is one of the craziest vinyl I've ever found. But first of all, I finally expanded my David Bowie collection because I've been needing some more David Bowie other than just Ziggy Stardust. So I got Station to Station, of course. I got Low as well. So that's cool. Then we have a really, really rare vinyl that I found for $40 there. I didn't even take it out of the plastic because I want to reserve it. in its perfect condition that it is right now. And now this one sells for thousands of dollars online. You ready for this one? Tools Enema. Now, Misto would be screaming at me right now, like, give it, Braden, give it, Braden. But unfortunately, I can't do that. But I have it in my collection now. And so it's really cool to find an actually rare vinyl. And because I'm not as big in this vinyl or record as a lot of other people are, my dad just decided to buy it for me. So this is the only thing that I didn't buy with my own money. So that was nice of him to spare $40 for a very rare vinyl. And so that's about it for my record store day endeavors. I hope you really enjoyed this video. Make sure to like, subscribe, comment if you want to. I don't care if you enjoyed. I hope you did. If you didn't, I don't know really what to say. So all I'm going to say is goodbye and see you next time.